So everyone wants to make just a little bit more money, but no one wants to put any of the hard work in. Well, my friends, I have found the solution. The answer is DePIN. DePIN is decentralized physical infrastructure networks. And essentially, you get paid to do nothing. So what I'll do is I'll explain this in this video, and hopefully you guys can make a little bit more money. See you inside.
Okay, so let's dig in. How can you make some easy money? Well, here's the answer. DePIN, decentralized physical infrastructure networks. Decentralized means no one is in control. There's no CEO, there's no headquarters. It is equally distributed. Okay, decentralized, physical, right? Something you can touch, something you can see. Physical infrastructure means you're providing a service, so like water, gas, electricity, whatever. And network means all these kind of decentralized players are connecting together for a common goal. So decentralized physical infrastructure networks, this is the Wikipedia page. It gives, actually there's not much information here, but the important part here is that these types of systems, they enhance transparency, they enhance efficiency, and let me say that sentence again. Decentralized public infrastructures enhance transparency, efficiency, and accessibility. Okay? The reason is because they're decentralized, right? We don't have to rely upon a centralized provider. All right, so you may be saying, what does all this mean? Well, I have this, but let me actually start with this one. Here are some examples. There's actually more than this, but these are kind of the biggest ones that that often get talked about. You can see they're grouped into different categories like server, infra, sensor, wireless. There's sometimes they organize them differently, but this is a good organization. Okay, so let's dig in a little bit deeper. So in this server section, there's a storage subsection, compute, warehouse, VPN, CDN, sensor. Okay, so it has all these different types of subcategories. But essentially what a DePIN is it breaks down into what are you providing? What is the infrastructure service that you're providing? So just at the top here, let's say this one, server storage Filecoin. This is something actually I'm going to talk about later. It's right here. But essentially, if you are an active participant in the DePIN network and you are using Filecoin, well, then you are providing storage to a decentralized network of users. Okay, so before I get into these specific examples, let's just have a bigger picture overview. So this is 2023 and this is 2024. So I think that's a year span maybe. You can see it was actually a very hot topic around the start of this year, right? So March of 2024, it's kind of leveled off. But this is still kind of one of the biggest narratives in crypto right now, is DePIN. If I go down here to this map, you can see, look at the distribution of these DePIN networks. It's global. It actually has a very, very good distribution. We can see it's kind of lacking in Africa and in a lot of Asia. But most of the hot spots, all the major cities, they all have active DePIN participants. I actually noticed this. Look how much DePIN is active in South Korea. It's pretty impressive. Okay, and this is China. But really every country. England's doing pretty well. So you can see it's a global network. This map, by the way, is showing all these different types of projects here. Okay, so from the top is Nodal, Uprock, Rome. Helium is here. So why don't we start by discussing Helium? If I just check that one, what does it show us? Beep, 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 beep. Okay, well that kind of broke it. Whatever, don't care. So let's get into Helium. So like I said, Helium is right here. Wireless LoRaWAN. Okay, essentially what Helium is you are sharing your access to internet to a decentralized network of people, and they pay you. Okay, so let me show you this. Oops, let me show you this. If you want to take the easiest step possible into DePIN, well then you can buy one of these. Okay, this is only 250. This one's 500. I think probably this one's stronger. Yeah, so outdoor. This looks like indoor. Okay, so what you need to do if you want to participate is you buy one of these. Okay, you buy one of these, looks like a router, plug it into your Ethernet cable and turn it on, and boom, you are now connected to the Helium network. And so what that means is people that are nearby, they can actually access your internet through this. Okay, of course, they can't access your data or your computers or anything like that, but they're able to access your internet. And when they do that, it records how much internet they're using, and then you get paid. Okay, so you get money back for sharing this internet. This is pretty cool because what if you're like at work or something? You know, if you have an unlimited plan and you're at work, well, you might as well provide that resource to someone, right? See, it says earn mobile tokens. This is the Helium token called mobile. And then, of course, you can convert that into cash at a later point or right now, whatever you want. So that's pretty cool. You buy one of these little boxes, plug it in, done. You can make some money. So again, easy money. Very, very easy. You can see this is the Helium network. Again, pretty well distributed. I would probably guess that if you're in one of these, like, what is this? This looks like the Netherlands, right? If you're in the Netherlands, then it looks like Helium is very, very active there. You're probably going to get more people using it because if you're in a place like, let's go somewhere. I'm in Vietnam, so let's check how Vietnam's doing. Yeah, so Vietnam is pretty poor. Look, there's almost no distributors. So if I buy one of these boxes and plug it in, probably no one knows about it in Vietnam, and so it's probably not going to get used, probably not going to make some money. But still, this network is growing. This is probably one of the largest DePIN projects. Whenever people talk about DePIN, they mention Helium. Because it's the easiest thing, right? Just plug it in. Most people have access to internet. Easy. All right, so that's Helium. Let's move on to the next one, Foam. This is a less well-known one, but I want to give it as an example of another kind of physical thing. It looks like they have these, so network of radios that offer secure location services. I'm assuming you don't need to buy this thing from them. I'm assuming you can probably connect it to your desktop computer and it works. But what this is this is providing GPS location data. Right now, when I use my phone, it connects to the cell phone towers, which is a centralized entity. Okay, and they're giving that information to the police, whatever. It's not decentralized. It's not secure. I don't like it. With Foam, we essentially become that network, and like it says here, you provide triangulation services, which is important for many types of things. Like for example, this person is moving down the street, and the way that works is it's connecting to all these GPS nodes. Okay, so again, another DePIN project providing a decentralized network of information. Each of these participants probably get paid a small amount of money to provide this service. Cool. They're probably not doing anything with that service anyways, or their sensors anyways, so you might as well provide it for free. Well, not for free, for money. I had a look at Vietnam, again, this is where I am. It looks like there's actually some providers. And I'm not really sure how this system works, but you can see that it's telling you how strong this signal is. It also has this like 100 foam, which I'm guessing is the cost to use it or something like that. This one is, I don't know what that is. Anyways, pretty cool. If I zoom out into other places, so let's say England, because that seemed like a pretty well click, boop, and it's going to search. I'm hoping it's going to pop up with a bunch of stuff. Oh, actually, surprising, there's less here. There's actually more in Vietnam, which is really surprising. Anyways, Foam, pretty cool. Next, Filecoin. I talked about this first. Again, Filecoin is one of the bigger ones that people talk about when they talk about DePIN networks. Filecoin, also a very simple idea. What you're doing is you have extra space on your computer, you're providing it to the DePIN network. Okay, so they have a pretty cool video. I'm not gonna watch this whole thing. Okay, so you see these are nodes. Alright, this video is kind of dumb. Anyways, the idea is that you provide your storage space to other people. Okay? Again, this is pretty simple. This one, I was looking into how you join this and actually provide it. It looks like you need to have more than just a computer, I'm assuming, right? So I say become a provider. You have to kind of go through this application process. I don't think it's as easy as just connecting your computer. I think you may have to have more space. So it says local entrepreneurs with storage systems. Okay, so that makes me think that you need like some sort of server or something like that, but still doable, right? If you want to have your own small business, you can join this network. Another big one is providing GPU compute. Okay, so imagine you have a very strong gaming computer and you go to work. Well, that gaming computer is just sitting there doing nothing. You might as well sell that or sell access to that to someone, right? The biggest one in this, the biggest provider in this area is Render here. Render. These guys get a lot of coverage, but I wanted to mention Nosana because I like their style. I like it. These guys are on Solana. Essentially, they're doing the same thing as Render. You're providing GPU compute. So like it says here, put all your idle compute power to work, right? So if you have a strong GPU, you can provide that to other people. Again, if you want to join, all you have to do is have one of these graphics cards. So if you have any of these, let's see, I have a 4050. Oh, my computer is not strong enough. So again, these are higher quality graphics cards. You need something good to do this. Mine doesn't work. But anyways, if you have one of these, you can join this network. And the final thing I want to mention before I wrap up this video is when we talk about DePIN, right, you're providing a physical thing to a network and you get paid. Well, this is a hot thing, right? It's like everyone talks about this is a new narrative in crypto, but you have to realize that actually Bitcoin is a DePIN, right? Because with Bitcoin, you're providing compute power. Uh, I have a server farm or something like that, and I'm providing compute to the Bitcoin network. Okay, so that is actually DePIN. But the problem is many people cannot compete in this network because it's now at such a high bar that you need to have a giant server farm in order to do this. Well, there are providers, right? So one of my favorite projects is a thing called BitAxe, which is a fully open source Bitcoin miner project. So same sort of thing. You buy a small thing. My favorite one is SoloSatoshi. So you'd buy one of these kind of setups. So this one is actually connected to a solar panel. So you put it outside, you plug it into the internet, and it runs by itself. And you would make a very small amount of money because chances are your miner's not actually going to win the block reward. But if you connect this to a larger network like Brainpool, then you're going to get a small amount of money each day. Probably it'll be similar to the electricity that's spent, which is why they add these solar panels, because then you can actually make that money. So again, this is actually mining Bitcoin is a DePIN. It's probably one of the first DePINs, right? It is the first DePIN. So very cool. I'm very interested in SoloSatoshi and actually this whole BitAxe project. So this is also something else to look into. I hope you like this video. I thought it was something important to talk about because essentially DePINs are money trees, right? You connect your tree to the network and you make a small amount of money each day. Very, very cool. I think this is not going away. It's only going to grow over time. So that's my video. I hope you liked it. I hope you join this network. See you later.